I was told to deliver this message. You think you're invincible because you got money, bombs, guns, and planes, killing babies, innocent people. I think you're insane. Chaos and destruction is the name of your game. Somebody's got to stop you before the whole world goes up in flames. So he told me to tell you, I'll fight
for my brothers. We can go to war. Fighting for my father, I will give my life for. I feel so alone in this white man's world. Whip it in the kitchen, watch that white turn pearl. Standing on the corner, standing on my phone. Standing with my gangsters, but I'm standing on my own. If you let me his own, split you like you need alone. Sacrifice my life, understanding each his own. Toast to the keys of success. Bel Air rose on my breath. I've been a student since '03, and we can fight till we see peace.
I fight like that. 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 Let me holler at you for a minute, give you game. Real scrappy, love the bottom, Buddha bang. Trigger happy, and everybody in the game. You shot your family and didn't even know it, man. Same rules, same code, with a different slang. Struck him out, and now they took him out the picture frame. Mama, don't cry, we gon' get by. 2 weeks later, got killed in a drive. Why must we fight amongst each other? Reach one, each one, teach one, my brother. I teach them how to fight on the grass and in the class. Snoop Dogg, all stars, yes sir, they coming fast. D1, football, we won. Now proud of my son, Lil Snoop, yes sir, cause he won. Right on, SC, fight on. We 100, keep it coming, dip, slip, slide on, light on. I fight like that, 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 I fight like that.
Watching the warriors, the story of the rebels. You from the ghetto, did you know never to settle? I'm shooting common on the streets, I'm a pharaoh. Battling in African-American apparel. Fists on a t-shirt, youngins doing street work. Grinding till they teeth hurt, that's because they need work. Working till the feet hurt, trying to get my soul right. Used to be on old bikes, serving them that cold white. Wars in the winters, the block is hot in summers. Today's mathematics, we know it's strength in numbers. To the bosses and the runners, the hustlers and the stunners. We fight for the hundreds, we fight for the oneness.
He fights with the heat. He fights with the sleet. He said, I am who I am. I can't be beat. Nobody has won a war against me. I fight like that. 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 I fight.
Tradition is the greatest enemy of change. I read the story about Samson. He was in the desert. He met 1,000 Philistines. They came to kill him. Samson is standing there in the heat of the sun. The sand is hot, and he sees 1,000 men coming to kill him. They come with spears and daggers and swords and shields on horses. And Samson looks around. He's in trouble, and he sees a white bleached jawbone of a donkey. He reaches over, picks it up, shakes the sand out of it, and it has 2 teeth left in it. And Samson braces himself, and the 1,000 Philistines come. He begins to swing that jawbone. Men fall, horses spill over. He kept swinging. And after a few hours of swinging, 1,000 men lie dead on the sands of the desert. And Samson is standing there breathing, blood all over his body, splattered all over his hands. And he has in his hands a jawbone bleached white, soaked with red blood. And Samson just saw a miracle. He killed 1,000 men with a jawbone of a donkey. That was impressive to me. But what blew my mind was it says, one simple statement, it says, and when Samson had killed the Philistines, Samson threw away the jawbone. That changed my life. You see, we use things in life that worked, they were successful. If that was me and you, and we used that donkey's jawbone, we would have taken that, patented, we would have taken it, registered to the Library of Congress, we'd have gone to a manufacturer, make a prototype, we'd have actually made a lot of these jawbones and called them Samsonite. We've made them a war weapon, and we would trade them to other armies and say, look, it works. I've proved it. These can kill 1,000 Philistines. And we would actually sell them as war weapons. Follow me carefully. We would then trade this jawbone, trade it as a weapon to the future armies. We would trade this jawbone. Why? It worked for us. Look at the word trade. Tradition. Tradition is taking a thing that worked for you and giving it to the next generation. Samson knew that even though that jawbone worked for him, the anointing left it. And he threw it away. Can you throw away success? Yes, because you could become so preoccupied by your own success, it can stop you from going to your next success. Tradition is frozen success. Tradition is when what your experience of God was, you believe it should be your children's experience also. Traditions are not bad, but they can become useless if the anointing has left them. So you got to learn to be willing to change. The crisis comes to destroy traditions. That's why crises are good. Everything that made the American economy work for the past 50 years has been confused. The church is the same way. Many churches are dying right now. Large churches are slowly dying because the things that they used for the last 20 years are no longer appropriate. And God is saying, look, the anointing has left the jawbone. You know, the hardest thing in the world to do is to throw away something that worked. So change comes to make tradition obsolete. This is why much of what you're doing stops working. It's not that it wasn't good or it wasn't successful, but the anointing has left it. And Samson was smart enough to know that the anointing left the jawbone. And he never tried to sell it to another generation.
Hello, this is Dr. Greg Gary, April 29th in the year 2020. The title of today's presentation is The Gold Standard Retirement Strategy. First off, I want to tell you that I am not a financial planner, and I am attempting to represent the company called Carrot Bars in the best manner I can. This is a very, very exciting presentation, probably the most exciting presentation that I've ever done. Well, let's get started. Here's the purpose, here's the thesis of this important presentation. Carrot Bars has established a way to protect your wealth by converting devaluing paper currency into physical and digital gold assets in this time of crisis and beyond, and to have those assets generate an income without having to sell those assets. Let me go on to explain how that's going to happen. So, what are we doing? We are helping people convert their fiat non-gold backed currency and their cryptocurrency into something called cash gold. That is a chip of gold embedded in that bill, and we have cards as well. Real gold, 999.9 currency grade LBMA gold. Okay? Now, what do you do with that gold? Well, you can have it sent to your home. And why do we encourage people to do that? Because over history, whenever there were crises, those who owned gold got themselves either out of a mess or even prospered greatly because they had it. And people ask, what do I do with that gold? Well, you're going to be able to barter with it. Barter simply means trade. And we already have people using Karatbars gold for trading. If you want to liquidate it back into the fiat paper currency system, you can go to your local gold shop, or you can use the Karatbar system, or you can go online. It is easy to sell. So that's one track for your gold. Here's the second track. And this is an incredible opportunity. You can convert that cash gold into something called the UNV stable coin. Now, that is a cryptocurrency. For those of you who do not understand crypto yet, that's okay. Let me explain it like this. In the days of old, because money and gold and silver have always been money, by the way, for hundreds and hundreds of years, okay? In the days of old, when people started collecting too much gold or silver, they would go to the bank. The bank would give them a note, stamp it, sign it, and you would go around trading in notes. And the last person to have the note, who decided that they wanted to go back and get the real money, the real wealth, they would simply go to the bank and exchange the note for the gold. And that's how money was supposed to work. In fact, it worked that way up until 1971. 1971, Mr. Nixon said, we're going to temporarily suspend the gold backing of the dollar. It never ended up being temporary. It's been permanent since 1971. Now, the US dollar, being the reserve currency of the world, meant that all the other currencies were connected to that. So in essence, on that announcement, upon that announcement, the whole world went into a non-gold backed currency system, a paper currency system. And the problem with that is that governments are printing money. They're out of control. USA, European Union, China, and on it goes. So it is important for people to get into gold. Now, I said as of the days of old, here we are again. So what are we doing? You are converting your real gold into a gold crypto, something in the crypto world is called a stable coin. And that is the great news. So instead of the notes representing the wealth, you've got a digital currency or a digital asset. And we're going to be putting gold into a vault, and you're going to have the ability to earn an income off of the gold in your vault. That's right. You're going to be able to earn an income off of the gold, off of those UNVs. And we are in a time of history where those who are first to get to this coin are going to benefit for the rest of their lives. And it's also willable. And this is how we create generational wealth. This is what the rich have done for generations. And now we, the people, can do it. And it doesn't matter how little or how much you have in that vault, you can benefit from it. You can then take that and reinvest it, or you can liquidate it and get it back into the fiat currency system, if you like, on what we have called a debit card. Isn't that incredible? Just digest that for a minute. Here's a third way you can go. You can convert it into a KBC cryptocurrency utility coin. And that coin is used in the entire ecosystem that's been developed. We have a gold mine, we have a bank, we have our own blockchain, we have a K merchant system that can receive both crypto and gold. And the gas or the coin that's used to run this whole system is called the KBC coin. Now, for those of you who may have been harmed in this current financial crisis and lost a part of your portfolio, perhaps this can be a way that you can retrieve those lost assets. You see, in the world of stocks, if you get a 10%, 20%, 30%, 50% gain in a year, that's pretty great. But in the world of crypto, we talk about hundreds of percents of increase. Now, look, I don't have a crystal ball, but our KBC coin has already gone to 15 cents. Forbes magazine calls it the top 10 coins to watch for in 2020. Why? Because we're a 10-year established company that has never missed a gold shipment, that has always kept its promises. And so there's a strong belief in the industry that this KBC coin is going to rise significantly. So watch for your own Bitcoin story in this entity. So what can you do? You can also take, for those of you who already have KBC coins, you can take those coins and convert them into the UNV stable coin. That is a great opportunity for those of you who currently have the KBC coins. Or you can take some of your KBC coins and once again, you can liquidate it. So now I'm going to show you why it's the KBC coin is going to do very well in the days to come. Now, for those of you who own stocks, you go to the stock market and you're able to look at all the stocks available on the board. There's just hundreds and thousands of them. Well, in the world of crypto, you can do the same thing. So you can go to something called coinmarketcap.com, and there you will see all the cryptos of the world listed. You'll see their volume, you'll see their market cap, and you'll see their name as per the picture in this slide. Okay, now let's back that up just one minute here. So look at Bitcoin. Now, if you don't know about cryptocurrency yet, that's okay. You can get educated. I knew nothing 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So Bitcoin has Bitcoin is like the US dollar of cryptos. Okay, it's the biggest and the largest coin out there. So look at the trading volume. Okay, so 32 billion US dollars were traded in Bitcoin. That's in a 24-hour period. Okay, now that's pretty small in the PowerPoint here. I'll just make it bigger. Okay, now cryptocurrencies are very volatile. You can make huge gains, but you can also get huge losses. So a category of coin called the stable coin was developed. And the most popular one is called the USDT, or the Tether. And what people do is they park their cryptocurrencies when they're not trading into a stable coin. And that way they are protected from volatility. Well, let's look at what the US Tether did in volume on this particular day. Now, this was about 5 days ago, okay? $44 billion. $44 billion went in and out of Tether in a 24-hour period. So what's happening? People, Bitcoin is in this format here is the symbol for all cryptos, okay? So cryptos, they went into the Tether and they went back out into another cryptocurrency in the trading platform, okay? Now, 45 billion, and we're going to use a conservative service fee, okay? A trading fee of 0.25%. That's 0.0025 multiplier. And that comes out to $112 million in service fees in a 24-hour period. Now, how about multiplying that by 365? You do the math, okay? Now, let's look at the possibility, because it's not out yet, it's coming out in June, the possibility of the UNV stable coin, okay? Now, let's do our own insertion here of the UNV. And for a ton of gold, there's going to be 10 million coins because they represent 1/10 of a gram each, all right? So there's the UNV, stable coin. So how is it going to work? The cryptocurrencies are going to go into the stable coin, the UNV stable coin, and they're going to be trading in and out. So let's say out of that $45 billion, we just took, Karatbars just took a mere 1% of it. Okay? Now, by the way, question. It's called a stable coin. You answer the question yourself. Is the US dollar stable, and will it be stable in the days to come? Second question. Is gold stable, and will it be stable in the days to come? Study Mike Maloney and others. You'll find out the answer is yes. In fact, you're going to see it go up. Okay, now let's do the multiplier on that $450 million. Ready? Times 0.25%, 0.0025, and you get $1,125,000 worth of, oh, I didn't tell you. What are we trading with? What does it cost to trade in the UNV stable coin? It costs KBC coins. So over $1 million worth of KBC fees in a single 24-hour period. So you know about supply and demand. What do you think is going to happen to the value of that KBC coin? Think about that. On top of this, now this is the powerhouse right now, but on top of this, our technical products, our voice over blockchain K1 phone and our WIM computer are going to run. The fees for that are going to be KBCs. Our K merchant platform, where you'll be able to use our whole system with companies and businesses around the world, that too runs on KBCs. Again, I ask, what do you think is going to happen to KBC? Well, the thesis of this presentation was Karatbars has established a way to protect your wealth by converting devaluing paper currency into physical and digital gold assets in this time of crisis and beyond, and to have those assets generate an income. Yes, generate an income without having to sell those assets. So can you now see how Karatbars has created a gold standard retirement strategy? This truly can be your golden path to freedom. Please get back to the person who sent you this information and get your questions answered. This has been Dr. Greg Gary. God bless you.
Ready for Evolution. And thank you, Dr. Greg Gary. And thank you, family, for joining another edition of Classes in Session. I'm your brother and friend, Brother Eric Teray Muhammad. And we opened up with a ton of juice this morning to get us going, to get us amped, and help us to understand what's in our future. So our subject matter, crisis comes to destroy tradition. That's a very heavy topic in some respects, but it's lightweight in others. Because to understand what you have in this opportunity can't be understated. It's a necessity to understand who we are, whose we are, and where we are. And we heard from Dr. Miles Monroe. May God be pleased with his life, his soul. He was a great mind, and his legacy lives on through the truths that he's told and the teachings that he has echoed, not just for wealth and prosperity, but what he's done for families, what he's done for manhood, what he's done for womanhood, and helping to position women in what's called the rightful place. And when I say positioned, I don't mean that he authorized the value or the craft or the perspective or the outlook on women. No, that comes from the God himself. But what he did was articulate a way where it led to the freeing of women from the carnal mind of man, the freeing of women where we have greater security in our families, greater security in our relationships, and greater security in our nations if we embrace the natural God-given power that has been given and created in woman. So big ups to Dr. Miles Monroe. We're going to go through the housekeeping rules, and I'm sure you all know those rules, but we're going to do it again. Have you paid yourself first lately? Have you paid yourself first lately? We had a wonderful presentation last night on our format in our program of the 90-day run to wealth. I want to thank all of us who joined into week 2, session 2. It was absolutely amazing. Last night, the testimonies, the victories that were expressed during that presentation. Many of you have already received the replay link for that presentation. And I'm sorry, family, that replay link is for those who enrolled in the 90-day run. It's a private link. Everyone doesn't get it. You don't find it publicly on the Eric Teray Muhammad YouTube channel. It's a link that goes directly to those enrollees. Now, if they choose to share it with you on an individual basis, that's okay. But we dedicated that to those who dedicated themselves to the education, to the training, to the wealth building that we do collectively. And to hear how much gold was saved and deposited into our accounts as a result of what we just found freed up that's laying around in our homes every day. No, this wasn't a yard sale. This wasn't a run to the pawn shop. This is just freeing up frivolous spending. Can't thank you enough. So big ups to you. And of course, those that are enrolled and a part of the wealth building opportunity, please, by all means, share your link for this coming Tuesday, June 9th at 6 p.m. Eastern. That link will provide you, those who are outside of the enrollment, it'll provide you an opportunity to look in, see some of the victories and some of the special guests that we have to welcome you to the future of money. All right. So with that being said, make sure you pay yourself first. And of course, this is Wednesday. This is our hump day, and it's funny because it's hump in some respects. Traditionally, hump meant where it broke up your work week. And this is where you at the midway point coming into the conclusion of your 5 or 7 day work week when many of you had, employment or jobs. Okay. And in our world, because the good many of us are already free of that, we have submitted to building a business and not a job, then we don't have restricted hours and we don't have defined schedules per se. Many of us do not, and as a result, hump day to us takes on another type of connotation, and so you get to experience it with the Real Browns today at 10:45 a.m. Eastern. That's our power call on our platform, www.goldrocks.info. That's www.goldrocks.info. Look at the information on the screen so that you see it and know it for what it is. And make sure that you're there at 10:45 Eastern. And then, of course, we have our live wealth building presentations that go on, one immediately after at 12 noon Eastern, as well as 9 p.m. this evening. And you want to be a part of those platforms. You want your prospects, those that you want to introduce the opportunity to, those you want to understand greater the opportunity, introduce them to the platforms that we make available for you, because the way to change the nature of your experiences is to change the nature of your thoughts. Okay, so you want to position yourself for the greater good. And of course, this is Wednesday night in the world of California Radio. Our Facebook page, we have Dr. Aleem Muhammad, the 19th element with Dr. Abdul Aleem Muhammad and brother Mustafa Muhammad, who I want to call Doctor so bad, because he knows how to operate. This is the weekly update that are given to the crisis surrounding COVID-19, the basic steps that you can take by which you can shore up your immune system and save yourselves and garner the protections. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to need it now more than ever, because thousands of people are going out into the street rallying around an issue, but they're doing it unprotected. And all kind of things are being sprayed out there in these environments, and we don't know what they are. You know, we don't know what the agents of pepper spray create. We don't know what the tear gases and all these kind of things. We don't know what it creates, but we do know we're in the midst of a pandemic that has not gone away. And so we need to shore up our immune systems. We need to know what it is that we can do to keep ourselves protected as we step out in our essential activity. Many of us believe that our desire to protest and demonstration is an essential need to raise the voice. I applaud that and I agree with that. You want to tune in to Dr. Aleem and Brother Mustafa this evening at 9 p.m. Eastern on the Kafani Radio Facebook page and learn how you can do and more and show up more and protect yourselves. Also, this Friday, June 5th, this Friday at 9 p.m., Spotlight with Carlito. Yes, my brother and friend, CEO and founder of Kafani Radio, Brother Carlito Muhammad, returns to the airwaves with his own show, Spotlight with Carlito. His special guest this Friday is none other than Team Freedom's tri-founder. I say tri-founder because there's 3 founders to the foundation of Team Freedom. And that's Brother Kevin 2X Thompson. He will be there, and you want to flood the cyber waves and drive everybody to this presentation, welcoming our brother who has toiled for 15 years behind the veil. Now he's coming out, and we just want to give him a great welcome and shout out. But more importantly, we want you to hear the information that is articulated, because everybody doesn't share it the same way. Some people embrace what a Brother Eric says, or what a Mustafa says, or Sister Cece and others might say. But then there's others who will embrace what Brother Kevin says. You never know what will trigger the mind to relate to what's being purported or taught. So you want to put yourself in a position where you make all of that happen. And Brother Carlito has done so much for the community of wealth builders and so much for the total community. Do you know Kafani Radio streams consistently over 4 continents with tremendous reception, tremendous response? So you want to be in position to be a part of that opportunity. And then tonight at 10 p.m., we have the dream chaser himself. We have the Freedom Call, folks. Freedom, that's what it's all about. Mr. Tyrone Best, CEO and founder of Wealth Builders Worldwide. He goes on tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern, www.goldrocks.info. I tell you, that is the platform for everything. Can't tell you what it is he's going to say, but I can't tell you that I'm not going to be there. I will be there if God finds favor on me and the creek doesn't rise. I will be there. Brother Mark Pies, I see you on the stream. Thank you, brother. If you would, please include your Financial Academy information in the stream, in the commentaries. Thank you all so much. I ask Mark Pies to do that consistently and constantly, because it is through the training from him and his wife, Sister Levita. Their training has inspired hundreds, I want to say thousands of people to embrace free enterprise, to understand it for what it is, and take advantage of tax codes. Now, I'm talking to you from a position of strength. What do I mean by that? Well, we've been articulating the quote from Mr. Best these last few days quite often, that experience is a person with an experience is never at the mercy of one with a theory. You see? And so I took the 29, now 30 years of experience between the Piers, and I took advantage of their Wealth Academy, their Financial Academy training. And it allowed me to preserve, grow my earnings through our filing of taxes. Think about it. Most of you go with a W-2, you're in the workplace, and then you come back, you file your W-4, then you get your W-2 at the turn of a new year to file taxes, and it's a finite filing. You just get back what you put in, that 40% of what you put in, and even if you don't file that right, you do a quick form of what they call a 1040 easy, and where it's easy, it's convenient for you, but you pay for that convenience because you give up the whole world. You see? And in our wealth transfer, understanding that this opportunity is rooted in free enterprise. That's what the tax codes were written for. I saved thousands. That's plural. That's thousand with a lot of S's. Thousands of dollars in that opportunity of knowing what free enterprise is and having a home-based business and proving that I'm working the home-based business and what it does. And it's done a lot for myself. It's done a lot for my family. It did a tremendous it gave a tremendous sense of comfort, cushion for our bottom line. You know, if you don't believe me, one day I'll let you look into my honest back office and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So big ups to all of us who are part of this opportunity and understand it for what it is. So let's take a look at what was offered by Brother Miles Monroe. We lost brother in this life to the tragedy of a plane crash. And some of us were actually literally with him, I want to say maybe 2 weeks before in Atlanta. And he came to talk to the youth of Muhammad's mosque, the juniors. Actually, they went out on a field trip and they met Mr. Miles Monroe and he talked about his plane and his travels, and Brother Vincent Muhammad and others were there. And it was really enjoyed. And he was encouraging the youngsters because they were growing into engineering. Do you know you can get a pilot license at 15 years old? You know, and so he's talking to a group of young and upcoming pilots at the time. And then a few weeks later, only to learn of his demise. But what a legacy this man has left. And I encourage you to look at the Monroe Institute and look at all that you can find on YouTube, and all that was shared, not just by him, but the disciples that he has created. Okay, so crisis. Crisis is a difficult or dangerous time in which a solution is needed, and quickly. The noun crisis comes from the Latinized form of the Greek noun crisis. Crisis, meaning turning point in a dis-ease. At such a moment, the person with the dis-ease could get better or worse. It's a critical moment. Thus, the word crisis is developed. And then you want to look back at another definition. You know, he gave a definition for normal. You know, we say his subject matter says crisis comes to destroy tradition. Welcome to the new normal. Normal is something, if something conforms rather to a general pattern, standard, or average, we describe it as normal. But of course, that standard can change over time. I just thought it was so amazing that he broke down how traditions become obsolete when they lose their anointing to perform. That is a revolutionary thought, and it's a dangerous one to have because it teaches people to look beyond the brick and mortar or look beyond the ritual. Oh, yeah. It also helps us to affirm that what we believe deep down, for those of us who were able to see that change coming in our faith traditions, it allowed us to embrace it and say, man, we're right. We are seeing things differently. Now, I'm not claiming that. I'm just speaking in a general sense, okay, where people have been allowed to see that some things in its conformity have lost its anointing. Listen, it's one thing to be appointed. I delegate you to do X, Y, Z. I make you the head of this mosque or this temple or this synagogue or this church. You'll be the head of our new spiritual tradition. You will be in charge of our new community-based organization. Those are appointments. But when you're birthed out of the voices, out of the cries of humanity, God hears the cry, and then he uses whom he chooses to bring about the solution to that cry. So when you look at a man like Dr. Harold Constantine Sykes, he gives you think big, he gives you the future of money. What is he giving you? He's giving you a revealed word that comes with a new anointing to share. You say, oh man, that cat can't be anointed. Oh, really? There are more than 1 million affiliates in the world of carrot bars. more than 1 million. There's 100,000 of us plus as wealth builders worldwide, which we're just a group of independent affiliates who teach the culture of wealth building. Now, if you didn't learn it in school, traditional training, if you didn't learn it on your job, a traditional way of life, if you didn't learn it in society as it was prior to the pandemic, traditional normalcy, that means that something as vital as having a vehicle by which you can grow your generational wealth, your leverage, and reflect the abundance that God has for you and I. That means that traditions or those traditions in the past have now grown obsolete because there's no anointing in it. So the former things pass away and we grow into the new norm. So he went on to say, or rather the definition goes on to read, what's normal today may be abnormal in the future. The word normal comes from a Latin word normalis, which describes something made with a carpenter's square. That means you're talking about building something. Your square allows you to build a firm and level foundation to do what? To grow, to exact institution, to exact a process, to exact and exalt a system by which society now moves. And you have that in this system. We also learned a lot from Brother Greg Gary. Brother Greg Gary gave us an understanding of the stable coin, of which many of us, if not all of us, will benefit from this month, June. Mark Pius says, discover how to keep your hard-earned income from taxation. www.theacademyoffinancialeducation.com. Thank you, beloved. Y'all need to really look at it. Y'all need to look at it and share and share and share. My mindset has changed so much where once upon a time I would have never looked at it. I would have first looked at the cost. It's like having a menu. You have a menu and you don't look at the dish you would like to have or what's on the menu. You just look at what can I afford first. You see, that's a poor man's game. But now that we're on the other side of money, I pick up a menu and I look at that menu. I said, oh, filet mignon, I think I want that. I look at menus now that don't even carry price points. I go in stores, well, not right now, but I will go in stores where you didn't have a sales tag. Because if you have to ask how much it costs in that environment, you're in the wrong environment. Unless you're dreaming, unless you're wishing and hoping to qualify to be right there. So maybe it's not the wrong environment. So Brother Greg Gary gave us, Dr. Greg Gary gave us this synopsis, this flow chart. And this flow chart allows us to see the power of what we can do, what we will do with our stable coin, which is an outgrowth from the cryptocurrency KBC backed by gold. So now the UNV is a gold cryptocurrency because UNV, only Carabal's International provides it. UNV is physical gold. Boy, we're coming into something. So June 10th of this month, this year, there's a corporate training and announcement that will take place, a corporate webinar, June 10th. That's on a Wednesday. That's a week from today. And you'll learn more about it as long as you're in the world of Carabas. Get back with the person who had introduced you to the opportunity. Let them know you're ready to get started so you can know what it is to be ready for. Okay. You also want to get back to people. Why? Because you want to be accessible or you want to have access to this opportunity. People all over the world are at home wondering how they're going to make it, but we're not. We're at home, but we're not wondering. Not financially speaking. We see hope not only on the horizon, family. Hope is here. The horizon we're building for now are the unborn. Generational wealth. That's what it's all about. We gain it here. We have it here. Get back to the one who introduced this opportunity to you of Carabas International, folks. You cannot lose with the stuff we use, and this world cannot win with the shape that it's in. And last point I'll make on that. You can't gain anything, or rather strike. You can't lose anything by trying. It's free. But you can't gain anything if you don't. So I would think it would behoove you to do the best that you can to position yourself with an opportunity that you have time not only to investigate from the inside, but literally earn as you learn. Look, how many of you fell for that slavery idea, that trick of political political strategy? I'm going to run for office. Well, the government is corrupt. The government is this, the government is that. Yeah, but if I get on the inside of it, I can change it. Or you say, look, management doesn't respect our concerns. That's all right. I'm going to transfer to that department and I'm going to grow my influence and I'm going to affect it from the bottom up. Well, corporations don't allow you to do things like that. America and governments of the world, those are basically corporations. Do you know there's several titles to the USA or America? USA, United States of America, the United States, USA Inc. All these are corporate entities, and they are classified for the sake of tax codes, of status, world status dominance, and for autonomy. So you respond to a constitution of the United States of America, right? But that's only one aspect of United States of America. The USA has another aspect. The United States has another aspect. America has another aspect. There's so many tricks, traps, and snares involved with this regime. It's deplorable. But now you have an opportunity to have such measure control, it doesn't even matter the name of your government. It won't even matter the president or governor or municipalities. None of that will matter because you have positioned yourself with God's money. Now, I will show you one other thing before we get out of here. And I really appreciate the time that you've afforded us today. Don't take any of this for granted, folks. This change is real. This opportunity is absolutely real. And you are positioned right now to take advantage of it. Some of you are on the YouTube channel watching live. Others of you are on the We Are Farrakhan page watching live. Others of you are on the Goal is Gold page watching live. Others of you are on the Eric Trey Muhammad page. Others of you are on the Periscope page watching live. I'm encouraging you to get back to the one that has shared this opportunity with you and let them know that you're ready to get started with a process that allows you to dig your well before you need the water. Oh, yeah. All right. Let me see if I can pull this other screen up for you. I do it often, but I'm going to work to share it here. I really want y'all to see this. I thank God again for the life and legacy of brother Dr. Miles Monroe. Okay, I'm going to give you a way to see the power of gold and the reality of debt. All right. Let's see if this will do it. Okay, I see it here. Let's see if you'll be able to see it, if I can move it. All right, y'all do me a favor. Somebody type yes if you can see that screen known as the U.S. debt clock. Someone type a Y in the chat or yes to let me know that it can be seen. I want to show you. Okay, I see it. All right, very good. Look, this is the U.S. debt clock. You see all this in red? That's the running to the second live debt growth in the United States. The U.S. national debt is over $25 trillion. It could be $26 trillion in a week. U.S. federal spending debt, over $6 trillion. U.S. federal budget deficit, more than $3 trillion. And with these deficits growing, why are they growing like that? Because of the cost of other things, the cost of Medicare, the cost of Social Security, the cost of defense. Defense spends over $690 trillion. There's an interest on the debt of $384 trillion. America can't survive it. There is no way. It is powerless to change it and stop it. Look, I'm talking to you about the power of gold and where it's going because many people have no idea. Many people are oblivious to the fact that gold is money, but the world understands it. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to try to find it through my pointer. I don't have a highlighter here, but I want you to look at the power of silver and gold. All right. Gold, let's see if I find it on the screen here. Gold, I can't highlight it. Gold per ounce in the equally yoked society, meaning without man manipulation, gold runs currently at a value of $26,120 per ounce. What holds it down from you knowing it is all this illusion they created in red. But gold's true value is highlighted here at $26,120 per ounce. But wait, the same applies to silver. Silver's true value, is showing at $3,150 per ounce. Now, what constitutes an ounce measurement wise? Ounces are made up of grams. Okay, a gram, 30 grams or 31, more or less on the Troy perspective, 31 grams of gold equals an ounce. Many of us in wealth builders have more than that now. So what happens when this balloon finally bursts? What happens when it's all exposed, the veil is revealed? What happens, Sister Sharon, Sister Patricia, Brother Dwayne? What happens when all this is exposed, the bubble bursts, and there's no manipulation to the value of gold? What happens to the gold that you have? That's right, Brother Ronald. Wow. I'm telling you, this thing is amazing that's been revealed to us. Why do you believe it's been revealed to us? I personally believe because we are charged with the responsibility of being the vehicle for people, being a vehicle by which we can affect change and change in a world, in a society that has refused to do so. I believe that's our task. I believe that's our responsibility. I believe that's where we are. I believe with all honesty, that's our calling, to affect the change. Hey, Brother Probin Tice Thompson. I really believe with all my being, that is our call, to affect change. So I want us to consider that. I want us to think on those things. I want us to look at the power of what we have, and I want us to leverage ourselves because we are positioned to do just that. We are positioned to leverage ourselves, but not just leverage ourselves. We are positioned, folks, to be the vehicle that finances an entire economy. There's a world coming in every day. Children are born every day. What is our value to them if we don't provide a foundation that allows them to dream, explore, to grow, and to build, to reflect that God-given quality that brought them into the world. That charge is on us. Okay, y'all know I be trying to get up out of here, knowing there's little selfish moments because I always want to get over there to Sister Lakeisha McKnight and see what's popping in her world of Bible study. Okay, but I really think that what we presented this morning with not just Dr. Greg Gary, but man, I'm telling you, to hear Miles Monroe in that 4-minute clip to help us understand that crisis destroys tradition. The world will not go back to what it was. That's a wrap. But we have been preserved to produce the new norm and teach the world what is. Okay? So, with that being said, I want all of us to join us at 10:45 this morning, this morning on the Magnificent Power Call. Is Hump Day. We had the Real Browns, Sister Sherry and Brother Willie Brown. They are there on the ones and twos, bringing the noise. Okay. And then at 12 noon, you have the live presentation. I want to say that it's Mr. Dalco today at 12 noon. I'm not quite sure, but 12 noon, you want to be there. And of course, at 9 p.m., that's the live presentation as well. All through the time this day, you know, I'll be sprinkling in all these kind of live streams. I'll be doing my thing. Okay. But I don't do it for me per se. I do it for those of you who want to bring people to the opportunity. I desire to represent you on your behalf. I want to represent to them you on your behalf. So bring your prospects to the live events, the 12 noon, the 9 p.m. Bring to the live events. Most times, anytime you basically see a wealth builder doing a live stream about this opportunity, chances are they are also doing it for you because you are in business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. That is just the power of what we have. It's the power of what we have. And you don't want to miss tonight, of course. You know, on California Radio, 9 p.m., you do have the 19th Element with Dr. Abdul Alim Muhammad and Brother Mustafa Muhammad, giving the weekly updates to peace, power, prosperity, and great health. And of course, at 10 p.m., all roads lead. This is a leadership meeting. 10 p.m., the Freedom Call with Mr. Tyrone Best. If you desire to be the better you, the best you can be in this opportunity, personal development is at hand when Mr. Ty Best gets on the ones and twos. So, family, thank y'all so much for the opportunity to share. Peace and power to all of you. I'm sorry I didn't give many of the shout outs that I wanted to, but you know what I normally do. I go back through all the comments and I look and I give the love and I show some appreciation, some commentary to many of you. There's Sister Jada J. I don't think she's on today, but Sister Jada, the award that you won, the prize rather you won in the trivia we did a few days ago, that has gone out to you today. All right. Most of you have already received those who are part of the 90-day run to wealth. Most of you have already received a link to the replay of that, but you will also receive additional worksheets in the future, and you're going to receive a gift from Sister Falami and I that we hope that you find valuable in your everyday activity. Freedom is what it's all about. Freedom is what we seek. Freedom is what we have. I was on California Radio last night and I explained why I chose 8 a.m. as when Carlito put the question to me, why I chose 8 a.m. as classes in session. I call this affectionately and endearingly before freedom hours. Before freedom hours, because I strive to keep in mind of how I used to grind for the plantation, how I would never not go in, make sure I was before time, make sure I punched that clock on time, make sure I did everything that was required of me in that job description. I took my breaks, I clocked out for lunch, I came back, I didn't steal anyone's time. I was dutiful and diligent in building an opportunity and business and a residual income for the slave master, for the employer. You see, how much more dedicated should I be when I'm building a business for myself. So the psychology behind going in and being here at 8 a.m. in the morning is to help assist us before freedom hours. So we stay mindful of the type of grind that's involved in building your business. We did it for plantation owners. We did it for employers. We did it in the self-employed or owning a job opportunity. Now you have an opportunity to work from a methodology, a system that will reward you by offering an opportunity of the effort and rewarding you the efforts of others in the opportunity. This is why God allowed me to choose the 8 a.m. You see, and I'm just grateful and thankful for all that you do with and for us. So peace and power. I will see all of us, family. I'm going over to Lakeisha McKnight. I'll be going over to Brother Consu to see what's popping in his world after that. But I will see us all on Gold Rocks, www.goldrocks.info for the worldwide power call with the real Browns. It's hump day, y'all. Come on over there and hump it on with us. Peace and power. Forward.
Strong word. Love. Soul. And change. Yeah. Big Snoop Dogg. Coming at you live and direct. And I got something to say. You did.
Let's change the world. Divided we are united. We stand. Let's change the world. Nobody knows. Nobody learns to do again. Let's change the world. 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 Let's be hope for the future.
What will you discover if we come together and do it like we never? I'm just sick and tired. I'm fit to light the fire. Now put this on the wire. The devil is a liar. I do this with no hesitation. Meet me at the reservation. Elevating, educating, meditating, concentrating. Replenish ya, finish ya, opposite of sinister. And I do it for the minister.
Let's change the world, divided we are united, we stand. Let's change the world, no fights, no wars, so let's learn to live again. Let's change the world, let's change the world, let's change the world. Let's change the world, let's change the world, let's change the world. Let's make hope for the future.
Somebody need to stop the war. Man, the war ain't overseas, it's at your front door. And I done seen too many brothers shot up on the floor for more than drugs and some colors. And now you call us warlords. But if you can help it, then help it. But you ain't helping us. You so selfish and selfless. You wanna see us breathless and helpless. But I'ma hustle and tussle for all my brothers who struggle. Yeah, we bang the world. Now let's change the world.
Let's change the world, divided we are united, we stand. Let's change the world, no fights, no wars, so let's learn to live again. Let's change the world, let's change the world, let's change the world. Let's change the world, let's change the world, let's change the world. Let's make hope for the future.
No killing, no shooting, no dying, no lying, no gang banging, so no more mamas crying. Everybody get along, man, that be the perfect song. Peace in the streets as I sit back on my phone, chilling with the president. He let me in the White House, back to the castle with the minister, no doubt. Shoes at the front door, love is what you come for. Let's get it right and unite, but do it right.
Let's change the world, divided we forward, united we stand. Let's change the world, no fights, no wars, so let's learn to live again. Let's change the world, let's change the world, let's change the world. Whoa. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Let's make hope for the future.